welcome or welcome back. Today I'm going to share with you a tour of my Corona castle. As you can see here, when I spin around, I am currently dealing with a texture glitch. So hopefully whenever you notice some of the textures may or may not be blurry, it doesn't bother you. It should be fine. It's a lot better now with this new update though. I'm going to show you each and every room, and then I'm going to go into just a couple of corners and I'll zoom in and spin around, and then at the end of this video I will give you an aerial view. Don't go away because I want to share with you my favorite room of this tour, but I'm not going to tell you till the end which one's my favorite. Also very curious, which room is your favorite? If you could just leave that in the comments below, which room is your favorite? I would really love to hear from you. It's very hard for me to pick my favorite room. I spent a lot of time adding way too much to each and every room, but I am definitely a maximalist at heart, and I find that in this game, whenever you add more decor into the space, it really makes the spaces come to life. Whenever I was designing this space, I went with the formal look, and whenever I do formal looks, I tend to make the rooms mirror one another on either side. And funny enough, whenever I decorated this house skin, I decorated it probably about 6 months ago, and I never really came back in and messed with it until I would say a couple of weeks ago whenever I wanted to film, and then I had the lighting glitch and then I couldn't. I was just dealing with that really weird lighting glitch. So if anybody else has experienced that whenever they go into their house skins, let me know. I don't know if I need to email customer support and see if there is like a corruption in my game, but nobody really talks about their house skins having lighting glitches on the inside with their lights not working properly and illuminating the space any longer. It used to be a common thing. I'm not really sure if you're having that problem, but if you are, let me know in the comments below. Let's go into the second room, which is the bedroom. This second room here is the bedroom, and as a formal space would have, I added a fireplace and sitting area in the bedroom. I originally had it mirrored with 2 beds on either side, as if this were an Airbnb and maybe 2 like sisters or best friends lived here together. But then I wanted to change it to make it feel more like a formal bedroom. And I know that a lot of the larger, older bedrooms tend to have the fireplaces and sitting areas in them, especially in a castle. So I wanted to keep true to that tradition and add that type of kind of a layout in this space. And then funny, whenever I designed the space, it was far before any of the updates came out where you could change the size of the room, which is probably one of my favorite things that came in one of the updates, because I do love to decorate interiors and play with spaces. This is what I did with the house skin before I messed with any of the room sizes. So if you're feeling a little overwhelmed with all of your options for decorating, maybe just stick with a common room size, get comfortable with decorating that, and then move forward with changing the room sizes and see if that really helps make you, just see if that really helps not cause any stress and or anxiety whenever you are decorating your spaces. I know some people do tend to get overwhelmed. And then I will just go into this little space over here and try not to get the little pop-up bubble. And I'm gonna give you a quick little spin around. And then at the end, I don't know if I mentioned this, but I will, because this is the second time filming, I had a little issue, but I'm going to zoom out and show you an aerial view of each and every room, because I don't know if you realize this, but you can use this layout. You can just change the chairs. Like let's say you wanted to use the blue chairs or the green chairs and you wanted your space to be blue and not pink. You could, just change the bed and then change the chairs, change the wallpaper, change the art, change the flooring, but still keep the same layout, just like this. And then you have a whole new space. And whenever I'm, get a creative block, I tend to do that. All right, so let's go into the next space. Okay, this is probably my favorite space, but we're not gonna go into that space yet. We're gonna go into this space over here, which is the study. So this space here is the formal study. Whenever I was designing the castle, I knew that each and every single space that I did in this castle with these room sizes, I wanted to make feel very formal, elegant, and grand, and I kept the same furniture throughout for cohesion, as well as the same wallpaper and flooring so that it felt like one full complete space. And then I always try to use similar windows in all of the spaces, because I imagine whenever you build a house and or a castle, you begin with the same type of windows, but castles tend to have a lot of, different options and opportunities with the wealth and affluence of the kingdom kings and queens, so maybe the windows weren't the same, so I did play around with a couple of different windows here. And then, of course, I have a nice little seating area as any proper formal office would have. And then I have a nice, lovely little couch. Well, little couch, massive couch over here. And then in this space, I wasn't too sure what I wanted to do with it. I had the hanging braziers over here. I removed those because they were clipping into the walls, and I thought, nah, people might think that they were weird. And then I tried, you know, a couple of little desks and a little seating area, but I wasn't too sure. So if anybody has any ideas of something that they would love to see over here, let me know. Also, if you like the open and emptiness of this space, because it kind of gives you some breathing room for moving around and walking around, also let me know. Now let's go into my favorite room. Okay, everyone, this is my favorite room in this house game. Welcome to my formal dining room. I am so excited that I unlocked that memory. The first thing I did was delete what was there here, straightforward on the wall, and I placed it there, which was so exciting for me because anytime you unlock a memory, it is super exciting. So now I'm going to give you a little spin around. I'm not going to go too fast. Hopefully it's not too slow as well. If you would like to change the speed, on the bottom left-hand corner of YouTube, there's a settings option and you can change the speed in which you watch videos. I tend to speed things up unless someone is spinning around a room, then I do normal speed or I slow it down because I can get motion sick kind of easily. And then I also can't see all the detail and the fun, amazing designs that people do, so I do slow down little spin arounds and tours if they are a little bit too fast. So let me know how you like to watch your videos. Do you want them a little faster than this? Do you want them slower? Is this the right speed? I'm not really sure, but I know how I like to watch videos, and I would think that, you know, we all like to watch videos differently. So any, you know, constructive criticism with my speed would be really great because I just really don't have an idea of how other people's like to watch the videos. But a quick little walk around. Try not to run. I'm using a better controller now, so hopefully this is nice and smooth transitions whenever I move around in my space. This formal dining room is my favorite space in the house skin. I just think that the impact whenever you walk into the room visually is, it's just, I don't know, it just does it for me, you know? So that is the tour of all of my spaces. Now I'm gonna zoom out, do an aerial view of each and every space. I will start with this one, and then we will go into the main room and then the other two rooms. I try to start centered, we'll see what happens. So I'll do a quick little spin around so that you can use this as kind of like a blueprint and or layout, whichever word you prefer. I just wanted to give you an idea of where everything is placed, and this is the standard room size that the rooms were whenever the house skins came out before we could change the room layout sizes. I'm so excited now with all of the house skins that I haven't decorated. Now I get to play with the space and perspective. Since the very beginning, hoped that Gameloft would make those changes, and they did, so that is very exciting. All right, that's the first aerial view. And then the next space we are going to do a little spin around for an aerial view is the main space whenever you walk in, which I know is pretty obvious, seeing the little entryway, but just in case, for newbies, do a little spin all the way around so that again, you can get the layout. And of course you can change any of the items to literally anything. And you can just use this layout. You don't even have to be very creative. Just make sure that you don't use too many colors because when they clash, it's not so cute. Here we have the bedroom. A little bedroom area, a seating area, a little vanity area, a robe and towel space, a little bath in the center. You know, the usual castle furniture. And then lastly, the formal study area. Here, let's do a better angle because it seems like the bookshelves really want to just kind of block everything. Try to keep it kind of in the center. I just love this rug. Everything together looks really nice. And again, I tried very, very hard to not use too many colors so it wasn't overwhelming and didn't clash because I do like to max out my design. And if you do the same, you're probably going to be fine. Well, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your support. Each and every view means so much to me. And of course, if you leave a comment, that means so much to me as well because I'm not really sure what people like to see, what people want to see, you know, if my speeds are too fast or too slow. So each and every comment really helps me out and lets me know what you do enjoy. And it inspires me to continue filming. I'm sorry it took so long to make this video. I was having a serious issue with my textures not working in the spaces and my lighting glitch. Every time I went to record, this lighting glitch wasn't participating and it did not want me to record for some reason. But now everything is working out great. My textures seem to be fine whenever I am in all of my spaces. Everything looks good. It's not super glitchy, and I should be able to get back to recording often now as long as these glitches no longer plague me. Thank you for watching. Just let me know what you liked, and hopefully I'll be coming out with another video in the near future. Thanks guys. Have a good day. Bye.